Aspen in 1973-4. Joe Edwards and Dwight Shellman were elected in November of '73 county commissioners.
On a platform of bringing significant change, it was controlling development. Downzoning was the great cry. It was sort of save this valley. We don't want everything developed. We don't want subdivisions with 1 acre plots extending as far as the eye can see.
And I could foresee, because I'd seen it in Houston, you could build a slaughterhouse next to a nice subdivision. There was no zoning.
They started doing something about it when a lot of other people weren't quite sure what was happening, what to do, did they like it or didn't they like it.
I could see that what was going to happen as the Aspen Square and the North and L got built, and they totally blocked the view of the mountain from your experience of walking around downtown.
They transformed politics in 50 County.
Just from the bottom up, they fundamentally and radically changed the structure of county government.
We got a map out of the voting precincts in Aspen. We divided each one in half and began to schedule a series of coffees with each neighborhood. We began a 4-year process of rezoning the whole valley floor in one fell swoop. The courthouse was full to the brim of people. We had death threats. We had to put TVs in the downstairs of the courthouse. The place was so full. People could rail and scream and have anxiety attacks about it. But the bottom line was the votes were there and the community was with us.
What they had to withstand, these withering attacks from the large landowners in 50 County.
The thing I remember is how angry a lot of people were.
Well, it's a little scary to have somebody threaten to kill you.
Distorted this in my
Really?
mind, but I recall getting beat up in school basically on a daily basis by the ranchers' kids. The ranchers wanted the ability to develop their land.
But this was based on that Citizens for Community Action. That's what the people here wanted, most of the people.
It was quite a time.
Something happened here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there. I got to beware. Like it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Joe somehow managed to stand up. Joe would look those guys in the eye and say, this is what I believe, this is how I feel, this is what I'm going to do. Joe Edwards was perpetually late to virtually every single commissioner's meeting.
That's changed.
I participated in my share of county commissioner meetings since I've worked for the county. I have never seen such a note like this on the official agenda. And then I looked up the minutes for that meeting, and apparently Joe didn't show up.
Happy days, thinking about the things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun. Oh, I've been smiling lately, dreaming about the world is one, and I believe it could be someday it's going to come. 'Cause out on the edge of their eyes, peace train, oh, peace train, it's coming. Thinking about the good things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun.
You know, they did amazing things. The land use code, and the bus system, and employee housing, and open space and trails. I mean, just really, like, critically important things.
So at this point, of course, then the dynamics of costs change. Prices rose.
In part because of the growth management plan, another unintended consequence is that it drove real estate values up. Aspen itself became a commodity.
It's a progression, but it's a progression that would have been so rampant and so overwhelming had the downzoning not happened, that it's a present we were given.
We all came for a quality of life and a lifestyle. We did not come to make money off of Aspen.
And you came here and it just seemed idyllic.
I mean, when people arrive today who've never been to Aspen before, they're just kind of knocked out by the place.
It seemed like the way life ought to be lived.
I mean, it is about preserving nature and beauty, but it's fundamentally is about preserving community. But community, there's lots of beautiful places in the world. There's lots of beautiful places in this country. There's beautiful towns in Iowa. There's beautiful towns all over Colorado. But there's very few places that have genuine, extraordinary community, and this is one.
You know when you enter Pitkin County, because you come from this intense development from Glenwood to the Pitkin County line, and suddenly you're in open space, you're seeing forests, you're seeing mountains, and you're not seeing any developments or houses. That's not by accident that happened. That was purposeful.
All of that goes back to the work that these guys did at the very beginning. It was tremendous work and wonderful.
The truth of it is that those guys really created the program and drove the program, and I helped sustain it.
Your legacy is summed up in the look on my father's face when driving back from La Jolla, California, we crossed the Pitkin County line. He literally started crying, and it was just one of the most moving experiences of